What's going on, knuckleheads? Welcome to Adesanya versus Vettori 2, the post-fight show live stream. The UFC, guys, does it again. And this is not the first time that this happens. And what I mean is, that Brandon Moreno-Davison Figueiredo fight, you guys, I was emotionally done and drained after that fight. I mean, let me know what you guys think about that, because that's just intense, man. That was just absolutely intense. I don't know. I can't keep watching the UFC, man. I mean, they're doing such a good damn job putting together all these amazing fights on one card. I just can't handle it. I mean, am I getting older? Is it because COVID? I've turned antisocial and I don't want to do anything. I don't want to leave the house and I can't handle anything anymore. I don't know what it is, you guys, but that was an incredible night of fights. I actually felt, if I'm being honest with you guys, that the Adesanya Vettori fight was a little anticlimactic. You know, I expected a little bit more out of that fight. I expected a little bit more. But that Brandon Moreno fight, you guys, I mean, that did it for me. I mean, that had everything you want. That had everything you want in a fight. Coach Pot is up in here. What's going on, Coach Pot? He says, I was hoping for Marvin to step up coming from King's MMA training. You know, I agree, and that's a fantastic school, you know, and a school that is featured on FightersRep, you know, fights all the time. We get guys from King's MMA, and I agree. You know, I'm glad you're in here, Coach Pot. For you guys that don't know, Coach Pot is in here. I mean, he's a world-class striking coach, former fighter himself. I agree, Coach Pot. Listen, man, I was watching. I saw the urgency in Coach Rafael Cordero. He was trying to push Vettori to do more, and Vettori just wouldn't do it, you know, and you know, I don't want to be, you know, I guess an arm couch coach, so to speak. But I just felt like Vettori's only chance in this fight was every time he backed Israel Adesanya up into the cage, he should have just let him fly. I mean, I felt like he just needed to let him fly. Joe Rogan mentioned going to the body. Excuse me. I think that would have been a good idea to go to the body, maybe body, head, body, you know. He just did nothing. I mean, he would, you know, throw out a couple jabs and then go for the takedown. It just wasn't working. It wasn't working. And you would think, again, I don't mean to be an armchair couch, but you would think that after, you know, so many attempts over the course of 5 rounds, that he would abandon that strategy and go for broke at some point. And, you know, it's disappointing. It's disappointing because there was some build-up to this fight. There was some bad blood in this fight. And I kind of wanted to see Vettori be a little bit reckless. I think it would have been his best chance. You know, just cause chaos, flurry on Adesanya, instead of playing the point fighting game with him and trying to take him down over and over again unsuccessfully. The other thing I want to say about the fight, though, is, you know, another disappointment for me is Vettori, for a guy that seems so angry and amped and hyped up in the, you know, in the press conferences and in the face-off and everything else, where was the anger? Where was the rage? You know, I know, you know, we've talked about this on the channel with Coach Rage from Black House. You know, some people think it's okay to, or rather, you know, most people don't think it's okay for a fighter to fight angry, but I felt like Vettori needed to get angry in this fight. He needed to get angry and be aggressive and go on the attack. And I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I felt like that was his only chance in this fight. And I feel like the guy has the tools. I felt like he could have potentially done that to Adesanya. I felt like he could have hurt Adesanya, but he kept playing the wrong game from the outside, getting leg kicked to smithereens, giving Adesanya too much range to work. I think he should have just fought him up close, made it ugly, and I think he could have, you know, done much better than what he did tonight. Got shut out 50-45. And the judges got it right. I mean, the judges got it right. Adesanya just beat him in a point fight, basically. It was like a point kickboxing fight. And, credit to Adesanya, but coming off of that Brandon Moreno fight with Davison, man, I mean, that played second fiddle to me. That played second fiddle to me all the way. I even thought the Nate Diaz fight was pretty exciting at the end of the fight. I thought Leon Edwards dominated the fight. Cheers, by the way. I thought Leon Edwards dominated the fight. I think Leon Edwards is a bad dude, man, but he showed a little bit of vulnerability there in the end. Of course, maybe anybody would fighting a zombie, right? Like Nate Diaz. I mean, the guy just keeps coming, but he got touched. He got hurt, and he could have been finished there. I think if Nate Diaz was, I don't know, maybe a little bit more lucid, maybe had a little bit more energy at the end there, would have been a bit more aggressive, he might have gotten the stoppage at the end of that fight. So, I don't know. I don't know how Leon Edwards bodes against somebody who can, be a bit more, I want to say, sharp with the strikes. He's got great boxing, we all know that. But, what happens if he goes in there against a Jorge Masvidal or, somebody who's a bit sharper with the strikes who can carry that power into the later rounds? It could spell disaster for Leon Edwards. But, coulda, woulda, shoulda. He did a fantastic job at the end of the day, and he dominated that fight. But again, you guys, I mean, the highlight for me all day long, all night long, man, Brandon Moreno becoming the first Mexican-born UFC champion, and dominance. I mean, just beautiful, dominant display of skills, man, from the striking to the wrestling to the jiu-jitsu, which he utilized to finish the fight in the third round, I believe it was. I mean, my goodness. By the way, big shout out to Alex Chavez. I'm going to head into the chat room now, but thank you so much for the donation, brother. Thank you for joining the channel. Shout out to Knucklehead Nation. Appreciate you guys for joining. Before I go to the chat, man, let me tell you guys, we have a stacked card for Fighters Rep 10 on August 13th. We've got easy over 15 fights for you guys. All you guys got to do is join the channel. I ask that you subscribe to, but join the channel. It's just $4.99 a month. And you get access. You can cancel anytime. If you're anywhere near Southern California, you're going to be able to get your tickets at FightersRep.com. This is going to be the biggest banger you guys have ever seen. I mean, guys are just going to stand and bang it out. We have the IKF Unified Rules, Unified Kickboxing Rules rule set. Fighters Rep. We are a kickboxing promotion. It's like boxing, man. There's no clinch. There's no kicking below the knees. There's no wrestling. There's no grappling. Guys have to stand and bang it out, and I think you guys are in for an absolute treat. Listen, today we had, fighters sign on from Saxon Muay Thai. I went over to Mission Muay Thai in Long Beach, made some more connections. They're sending us 2 fighters. We've got guys from Team Oyama on the card, CMMA, Systems Training Center. I mean, you name it. You name it. The best camps in the world, UFC veterans, you name it, are going to be on this card, man. And the best strikers. That's what we're trying to put together here. The best strikers on earth. So tune in August 13th if you can't make it live in Orange County. That being said, let me head to the chat here. Congratulations, Mexico, says our brother Cricky Ivan. Appreciate you being in here, Ivan. Man, big night for Mexico. Big night for MMA in Mexico. Big night for Mexico, as a combat sport country. I mean, they're just absolutely killing it as far as combat sports go. So definitely big shout out to Mexico, man. They're always in the mix. And to see Brandon Moreno, I mean, guys, Brandon Moreno looked like he leveled up, like he doubled his skill. And he was fast. He was sharp. The guy looked on point tonight, man. And I almost felt bad for Davison, man, because he's been such a good champ. He's so powerful. He's so good. And for him to get out, I mean, he was just completely outclassed tonight. I mean, it wasn't anywhere near the first fight, you guys. He was just completely outclassed tonight, you know, and it was almost to the point where, like, Davison looked like he didn't even belong in there. I mean, dare I say something like that, but it was almost like he didn't belong in there. I mean, Brandon Moreno just so sharp. I mean, for me, that's performance of the night. That might be one of the performances of the year against a champion the caliber of a Davison Figueiredo. I mean, you got to give Brandon Moreno a lot of credit, and I just wasn't expecting that. I mean, I thought we'd have another good fight. I thought, if anything, Davison might be better in this fight because he does so well in rematches, as he showed against Jose Benavidez. But, man, Brandon Moreno wasn't not to... Listen, he was not to be denied tonight. And what an emotional outburst at the end of the fight from him. He was just gushing emotion, man. You could tell this guy's put his entire life into this. You can tell from his performance, from his reaction. Really heartfelt, really touching. I mean, if you're a man's man... If you're a man's man, you were watching Brandon Moreno at the end of that fight, you were choking back. I mean, for me, I was holding back tears, man. I don't like to cry. I'm not the crying type, man. But I was just like, wow. Like, I was welling up watching that, you know. And, you know, he was saying, like, he was just a chama. He was talking Spanish and English. He was saying, you know, I'm a chamaco from Mexico, basically. And look where I'm at now. And, you know, they always say, you can do it, you can do it. But tonight we did it, you know, and he was just going on, and a real feel-good story, man. A real feel-good story. You love to see, at least I do, I love to see somebody aim for their goals, aim for their dreams, and accomplish it. You know, that is a beautiful thing in life. You know, that is one of the best things you can share with other people. I think that's why people get behind guys like Brandon Moreno. You know, you could tell how much they want it. You can see it. It's something that they just feel they're destined for. They want it so bad, and when it comes to fruition, you know, it's a real feel-good story. Il Goose says, Moreno. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sub George. Great night of fights. Nate forever. Man, Nate has got a lot of fans, man. Nate Diaz, man. I mean, that popularity is not going anywhere. I mean, he can lose, he can win, they don't care. And that's something I really love about the UFC. You know, I was thinking about it. I was thinking about it today, you know, as a promoter myself, trying to be the UFC of kickboxing, I would say. I love that the UFC differentiates itself from other promotions, especially in boxing, right? Because I'm a big boxing head and obviously a kickboxing promoter, but I'm a big boxing head. I love boxing. I love the way, you guys, that the UFC differentiates itself from boxing and has maintained its own culture by putting the best against the best. I mean, it makes such a difference, right? I mean, in boxing, when is the last time in boxing that you saw a co-main event or the fight under the co-main event, which in this case would have been Diaz and Edwards? When's the last time that you saw somebody like that in the co-main or below get that sort of reaction? And so many people on the card got such a tremendous reaction, but definitely Nate Diaz, you know, that Brandon Moreno and his fight. And I thought the main event was a little anticlimactic, but even that, you know, garnered a lot of, you know, reaction and attention. But I just feel like it's a totally different level because, and this is what I admire about the UFC, you know, you can say whatever you want about them. The best fight the best. And people don't care. Nate Diaz shows, man. Nate Diaz shows that my belief, my theory is true. People don't care if you win or lose. That's not everything to them, right? They want to get to know these fighters. They want to have something to relate to. They want someone to connect to. And if you can do that, go in there, fight hard, you will earn the public's respect, man. You will earn the mob's respect. You'll earn it. You don't have to win every fight like in boxing. We don't need promoters to lie to us by manufacturing, a fighter's record by taking him to another country and having him knock out 10 or 15 kids that had no chance, bringing him over here and fooling us into thinking he's unbeatable. We don't need that. We don't need to do that to people. We can have the best fight the best, may the best man win. And it's a wonderful thing, and it's what the UFC does, and it's why they're so successful. It's why their cards are so stacked. It's why each of their fighters has so many fans. It's why it's got such a following, and it's why it's lapping now circles around boxing. I mean, I hate to say it. I hate to say it. I mean, at one point I thought to myself, boxing's on top of combat sport. There's nothing that can surpass it. I think the UFC dusted boxing. And I'll tell you guys again, I do believe it happened when Masvidal fought Diaz at Madison Square Garden. And Canelo Alvarez had to wait in his locker room until that fight was over to come out. For me, that was the moment. That was the moment that the UFC broke boxing, broke past boxing's threshold as far as popularity goes. But that's my opinion, of course. He did great telling the truth, telling Marvin the truth per round. I agree, Coach Pot. He was trying to get through to him, man, and the guy just wouldn't listen. The guy wouldn't listen, and I don't know. I heard some of the stuff, Coach Cordero was saying. I couldn't hear all of it, but I don't know. He seemed very passionate about it. He was trying to get his guy going, and he just couldn't do it, man. You can't. Listen, you could take the horse to water, but you can't force it to drink. Il Goose says, Moreno would not be denied tonight. Israel made Marvin look like a nobody. 50-45, Il Goose. You're absolutely right. If you haven't already, by the way, guys, hit the subscribe button, the bell notification icon next to it. Join Knucklehead Nation, man. Like I said, just $4.99 a month. You get to access our live fights. We're back August 13th. Then November 5th. Then I'm going to try to hit the ground running every 2 months for you guys. Put on a show every 2 months. Aiming for maybe like the second week. Maybe the second Friday every 2 months. Let me know what you guys think about that. But definitely join the channel. That's the only way you'll be able to watch the fights live. And support us, man. Have a hand in building the only kickboxing promotion that matters, man. And it's a necessity. It's a necessity. A lot of these fighters are strikers that are forced to go into MMA and do other things because they don't have an outlet. They don't have an alternative. And I invite you guys to check out our fights. Kickboxing, our rule set, I think is the most exciting rule set in the world. I think it creates the best strikers and brings them together. And guys got to stand and bang it out. It's all action. There's no grappling. There's no clinching. So definitely check it out. Let's see here. He came close a few times to clipping Izzy against the cage, and he just wouldn't do anything, Raw Dog. I just don't understand. I felt like if you're doing that, if you're having a little bit of success, let your hands go. But then again, I'm not in there. I don't know what he's feeling coming back from Izzy. Did he feel something powerful that made him hesitant, I don't know. Again, shout out to my brother, Alex Chavez, a member of the channel. Thank you for joining, brother. He says, great fights tonight. Knucklehead Nation represented proudly in Yuma, Arizona. And, as you guys know, the fight happened in Arizona tonight. So big shout out to everybody in Arizona. Il Goose says Usman could beat Leon and Nate Diaz back-to-back. Potentially. Kirky Ivan says Nate Diaz is a dog. Absolutely. I mean, the guy's a zombie. C-Pot says Moreno's speech was great, Coach Pot. Man, what a fantastic post-fight speech that was. That was just, man, that was a great thing to see. Luis Hernandez says, who won on the main event? I missed that one. Shut out, Luis. 50-45 unanimous decision in favor of Israel Adesanya in a very anticlimactic fight. Again, I've said it before, the fight for me, the fight of the night, the best thing I saw tonight was Brandon Moreno, man. Wow. Wow, C-Pot says, all gyms that Fighters Rep has visited and got to know, everyone will say that George is putting his heart in this promotion. You'll see August 13th. Thank you, Coach Pop, man. I look forward to having your guys on the show soon as well. Raw Dog says, what city the kickboxing event going to be in? Seal Beach, brother. We're doing it in Seal Beach, which is right next to Long Beach. It's in Orange County, but it's connected to Long Beach and LA County, so we get, the best fighters, the best crowd, man. They come in from both counties. They want to watch some fights. A beautiful facility. It's the Ames Sportsplex. Big place, clean, lots of parking. We have food, we have drinks, we have VIP tables, front row tickets, everything. Everything you can ask for. And listen, I'm going to be giving you guys, I think, at least 15 fights on this upcoming card. Incredible fighters. I mean, we've got incredible fighters on this card. Chris Cully, a legend. Justin Baseman, same. Guys with almost over 50 fights each to their name. They're going to be competing in the main event. We got Terry and the Flash Ware, UFC veteran, taking on Team Oyama's Ardavan Moini. That's a fantastic fight, man. That's two of the best, gyms in the world colliding right there. You got Team Oyama, and you got, I believe Taryn right now is training out of CMMA, maybe Systems as well. We've got Eddie Action Jackson, kind of a hybrid representative of Team Victory, and Saxon Muay Thai. He's going to be taking on Connor Bracken out of the Wooden Man Muay Thai. Jongsanan Wooden Man, a legend in Muay Thai. So Connor Bracken's going to be represented for them. And he's an Orange County native. So that's going to be a great fight. And I'm just telling you guys about the main card. We've also got Anderson Silva's sons. I believe both of them are going to be competing at the next Fighters Rep. I know Gabe, hopefully, is going to be defending, or rather, trying to unify the California state title with another very talented kid in Christian Acevedo coming down from Northern California. It's a bit of a civil war, North versus South. It's going to be fantastic. We got one that's got us licking our chops in Mikey 2 Raw Shaw going up against John the Caveman Garcia. It's Stockton versus Inglewood. Two of the best young upcoming strikers in the game. And then we've got a new addition. It looks like we got Ryan Rahimpour out of the arena. Great kid, very talented, very good striker, experience in boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai. He's going to be taking on a Spencer Mix out of Saxon Muay Thai, one of the best gyms, teams, period. I mean, you think Saxon Muay Thai, you're talking about Alan Juban, you're talking about Georgie Garcia, Brian Del Rosario, Armand Sarukian, all, in the UFC. So just fantastic fights that are going to be going down on August 13th. And I can't wait, you guys. I mean, even the undercard is just, it's outrageous. I mean, we got the Korean Pitbull signed up to take on Oscar Mueller. Just so many fights. I can't even think of them all. So, but the tickets will be on sale soon at FightersRep.com. If you can't make it in person, I ask that you get yourself a membership to the channel by hitting the join button below. It's just $4.99 a month. You can cancel anytime, watch the fights, and cancel afterwards. It's worth it, man. It's going to be worth every penny. Guys, I want to know your thoughts on the fights tonight. If you're watching on the replay, leave them in the comments below. Tell me what you think. Who did you think was fight of the night? What did you think about Adesanya versus Vettori? Shout out to Mexico. Shout out to Tijuana. That's all I've got for you guys tonight, man. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I am exhausted. I am very tired. Besides family and work and this promotion, I go around to a lot of gyms. Today I made an incredible connection with Mission Muay Thai. I'd never been there before, but I've been, talking to them, introducing myself. They've got 2 fighters they're putting on the card, Francis Funestas and Matthew Cordonero. I'm going to be dropping their interviews in this upcoming week, along with their fantastic coach and head owner Jace Gutierrez, man. Right in Long Beach, they're located. Very proud to have them on. Beautiful, clean, sexy facility they've got in Long Beach. They've persevered throughout COVID. They actually opened like kind of right when COVID started. So big shout out to them, man. I'll be dropping stuff for them over the course of the week. I hope you guys tune in, check them out, get to know them. And we'll have more content for you, so stay tuned. That's all I got for you guys. I'm very tired. I hope you guys support me. Get something in the link below. Donate to the channel, because this is not easy, but it's a lot of fun. I wouldn't change it for anything.